Hello, and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the Algebra 1 concept of rewriting polynomials. This is standard A.10D in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 48 of the 2021 released STAAR test. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. So we need to find an expression that is equivalent to, we've got this 35m squared minus 63. Okay, when we see this, this is actually a binomial, just a term that means it's an expression with two different terms in there, right? That's that prefix bi. And whether or not we immediately think of it, we should be thinking, can we use the distributive property? Because that's what's going to help us rewrite this expression into something that is equivalent. So what is the distributive property? Well, when you Google it, or you just look at the definition, this is probably what you'll see. A, and then parentheses, b plus c, equals ab plus ac, which may or may not be super helpful. So what does this really mean? Okay, so you've got a binomial here. You've got a b plus c. So you're just going to add two terms. Doesn't matter what they are. You want to multiply another term, a, times that expression. So really that's the same as is taking that a, multiplying it by each term individually, and then adding the two products there. So that's really what that's meaning. And if you ever wonder how some of these things work, just plug in some really simple numbers. That kind of makes it real. So I'm just going to do 1, 2, and 3. So let's make a 1, right? So this is going to be 1 times b is 2, c is 3. So a is 1, b is 2, plus a is 1, c is 3. So what do we have? Well, we got a 1 times 2 and 3 is 5. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 3 is 3. So 5 equals 2 times 3. Yeah, of course it does. We know that. So that's what the distributive property does. So take a look at this right here, this 35m squared minus 63. Instead of having distributed out, this is actually the second part. So what we're looking for is we're looking for an a. What is a common factor that we could take out and just leave the b and c? That's really what we're looking for here. So let's look at our 35m squared minus 63. Now there's two things happening here. First, we're looking for the easiest thing, which is going to be variables. Okay, I've got an m squared, but an m over there on that 35 side. I don't have anything over on that 63. Typically, you would find on some of these, you're going to find the same letter on both of these terms. One might be a squared, one might not have an exponent, so it's going to be to different degrees. But you can't say that there's a common factor of a variable over there, because there's not an m in both of those. So really now, all we're looking at is the coefficients. Look at the 35 and 63. You're just looking for common factors. Hopefully, you still know your multiplication factor. You're like, you know what, both of those can be divided by 7, okay? So, yeah, so 35 divided by 7 is going to be 5. It's going to leave your m squared. 63 divided by 7, that's going to leave your 9. Now, that 7 didn't go away. What we did is we just pulled it out like that. And so, does it work? Well, distribute it back out. Double check your work. So what that means is you've got 7 times 5m squared, this is the distributive property, minus 7 times 9, right? And so that's going to be 35m squared minus 63. Yeah, we get back to exactly where we need to. And so we should hopefully see that h and j are incorrect, because look what they do. They bring an m out there, and there's not an m on that second term. So you can't bring a factor out an m, because when you distribute it back out, it would be like 9m or 63m. You can't do that. And so we need this right here. It's not going to be this negative. It would work for here, but it would turn that into a negative 35, which we don't have. So our answer here is F.